Hi. Hello, people! People who are helping me take over the world with a fan film. I hope it's going good. It's going good for me because we are doing more stuff with IZTDM. So, what do we have going on that we need to talk about? Voice acting. Voice acting is when you take your voice and you use it to act animated characters out. You should know this. Okay, so anyways, voice acting. Down there in the description, you should see the characters with a description of them and the type of voice I'm thinking of for them. Some of them are more specific than others. Some of them need more specific things, like the canon characters. Those are the characters that actually appear in the show. Tallest red, tallest purple. Well, not tallest red, because guess what? We found a voice for tallest red! Yeah! So that's good. But all the others, they're voice orphans. They don't have a voice, and that is sad. So we need to help them. So, canon characters, let's start with them. Characters that actually appear inside the show that still need a voice. I might miss a few, but from the top of my head, I think I can name off the ones that still need actors and actresses. It's not the characters I made up on my own that needed to be fill-ins, like extras and stuff. No, I'm talking about the characters that actually appear in the show. That would be Almighty Tallest Purple, Lardnar, Schluntapupsis, Splink, Professor Membrane. Not that I won't do it if I have to, but after a certain point, the audience can tell if it's one guy doing a bunch of voices. So to be honest, I would rather not do all those voices, but if I have to, I will. But I would rather just find people who sound like these guys. The Irken announcer from The Nightmare Begins. Hey, someone asked me about how his voice sounds, so why don't I just give you the rundown right here, right now? Well, first of all, he's the one in The Nightmare Begins. He's the guy. Welcome, brave Irken soldiers. Welcome to Conventia, the Convention Hall planet. First of all, his voice is very bombastic and deep, but it's not deep like this. It's not deep and kind of held back. This guy doesn't hold back at all. It's really cheesy. It's like this is a guy that was yanked straight from movie trailers and dropped in the world of IZTDM. Or Invader Sim, rather. This guy talks like this! And his voice stretches sometimes and gets really, really interesting. What else? He rolls. His vowels are really mellow. They aren't very raspy, they're very mellow and open. I'm really talking from the back of my throat right now. That guy, only with a voice that actually sounds like him, not me. Well, again, I will if no one else steps up and does it, but I would prefer if as many people besides me did it, because, again, you can tell if it's the same guy doing the same voices, and it gets distracting to the audience, and that's not good. So, if you're interested in that, good to go for there. What else? Oh, the Resisty Team Commanders. Those are a bunch of extras I made up for the movie. Here's the joke. The joke is that the Resisty's army is huge. It's just giant. And the Resisties has their fleet divided up into a bunch of teams to help manage it. Lardnar enacts the plan. He sends out orders to the entire fleet. And then he pulls them up on radio and he's like, okay then, did everyone get that? Red team, did you get it? Red team, check. Green team has it. And then it just goes on and it gets into like ridiculous colors. Magenta, did you hear those orders? Check. Magenta team has it. Vermilion, check. And it's just ridiculous, but that's the joke. Each of the team commanders does not appear in the show. It's just voices over a radio. And that's a bonus because you don't need a high quality microphone to do those guys because they appear over a radio anyways, so it's gonna sound like this anyways. So that's great. I'm actually genuinely happy. That's awesome. We already have 3, I think in total there's like 12 or 13. We have 3 girls who have taken some of those parts, and we have 2 guys, and I'd like to keep the gender ratio about the same. If there's a variety, it helps it feel more like there's a bunch of people, like there's a huge army. You know, like, what, did I say 12 or 13? I'm gonna work assuming it's 12. If it's 13, then whatever. Here's how it's gonna work. There would be like 6 guys and 6 girls, okay, voicing the characters. And that would be, and I would randomize them up and shuffle up the thing and make it so that there's a bunch, each voice comes in at different times. But what the thing is, what am I trying to say? Do you know? Oh, yes. When you audition, if you want to audition for them, here's what you do. You go to the page in the description where they're there, and I have all their lines. And what you do is you literally read off every commander's lines. Stanley, I hear you say, aren't we going to have different people doing them? Yes, but I'm going to choose that after the fact. Up front, I just want you reading off all the commander's lines in your own style, with whatever inflection you want. The only rule is make it goofy, make it funny, because in the world of Invader Zim, if you notice the background characters, they sound ridiculous, and that's hilarious. So that's my only stipulation. And if I feel like you can pull off funny enough voices, then great, we will go ahead and I will give you further direction after I say you've got the part. So I'll get a bunch of people, a bunch of you guys volunteering like, hey, we want to do this stuff, okay, fine. Let's skip forward a few days. Hey, we have 6 actresses and 6 actors for the Resisty Commanders. Then I'll be like, okay, let me listen to all their audio. Okay, you would work best for this one, you would work best for this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. And then I would basically assign you after the fact, like, hey, I like what you did, but can you take it one step further? Oh my gosh. And then I'd have you re-record it. But I'll let you know afterwards if you need it, if that needs to be re-recorded or not. Anyways, that's the way the Resisty Team Commanders work. So if you have any further questions, just contact me and we'll sort that out. And that's that for voice acting. Wow, spent all that time talking about voice acting. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be a long vlog. What else? Concept art. Okay, yes, I almost clapped again. For concept art, now we have the characters. Right now we have a list, and it's like, here's all the characters, here's what artists are assigned to what, here's the characters that have rough art done, here's the characters that have final artwork done, and that's basically to keep track of things. Okay, good. That's good. Here is a video covering the basics of what I'm looking for in concept art. So I'm gonna make a new video featuring Merp and not Smoots as the demonstration, because I'm working on Merp's concept art right now. Here. And at some future point, some archaeologist is going to be watching this video and they're going to be like, hey, he said the wrong thing because that video features Merp and not Smoots. That's because I have updated it by then. They'll both work, okay? They'll both work for concept art overview videos is what I'm getting at. But the Merp one will be more polished. Oh, and here, it's an overview of the character list. But you'd be like, hey, don't you have a link to that in the description? I do. And that list, though, is a bit more specific. It details what characters need rough art and what characters do not need rough art. And by the time you'd be like, hey, Flabberman, for instance, okay? You might come in here, watch this video, and be like, hey, I want to do Flabberman. And I would be like, you can't. Someone's already designing him. And you're like, but the video says it's open. But the list doesn't. And the list is updated. And you need to go to the description to go to the actual list to see stuff that is open. That's that for character concept art. I'm really wanting to push, though, final artwork. So if you're able to draw in the Invader Zim style, and you're able to do it with finesse and make it look polished, make it look like artwork from the actual show, like the lines are clear, it's colored correctly, the proportions are right, it looks like it's from the show, we need you to do final concept art based on the rough artwork other people have provided. Or based on rough artwork you create yourself, if you're okay with that. Props and backgrounds. We will need characters. We will need concept artists to do prop design and background design. Unfortunately, some jerk hasn't made a list of what needs to be done yet. So that jerk can't assign people to do props and backgrounds yet. Well, I don't want to assign people to props and backgrounds just yet. for the simple fact that I don't have a list organized, and I'll overwhelm myself if I try assigning people to different stuff when I don't have a list to refer to. So if you're interested in doing backgrounds or prop design, you can let me know, and I will say, let me see a sample of your artwork to see if you're able to do it. Because I need to know you're able to do Invader Zim style. Because if it's like, I can do backgrounds, and I'm like, great, let me see. And you show me the background you did from SpongeBob. Great. But that's a different show. Here, let me be even more clear. The Chalk Zone, for instance, you'd be like, hey, I can draw Invader Zim backgrounds, and you show me something that you drew that's from Chalk Zone, and I'd be like, that looks fantastic. This isn't an Invader Zim movie. Bottom line, if you're interested in props or backgrounds, you got to contact me. I got to see a sample of your work to know that you're going to be able to actually design them in the style of Invader Zim. And after that's settled and I say, hey, I think you can do it. I think you can help us with that area. Awesome. I will not assign you anything right off the bat. You might have to wait a few weeks, or heck, even maybe until May, until I'm able to assign something to you. Because right now I'm focusing on character concept art and props. I mean, not props. Misspoke. Right now I'm focusing on character concept art and voice acting, but not props or backgrounds just yet. But I'll try to get a list compiled of everything we need as quickly as I can, and I'll create a video explaining everything about that and everything that needs to be done there. That's the work that I need to do. And I also need to finish Merp's concept art. I'm sorry I haven't! I'm setting a bad example for you guys, but I promise you I am not procrastinating. I promise I'm not procrastinating. It's just stuff came up over the weekend, and I needed to have my priorities in order. So concept art for Merp, that fell below the priority. So I haven't done, well I have. I'm moving along at a good pace on our concept art sheet, but it's just not done yet. That's the problem. I'll be working on that as quickly as I can. You can expect that sometime this week. You can expect that sometime this week. I'm promising to you. Look at this. I'm making a promise. Sometime later this week, you can expect Merp's concept art to be done. Haha. Stings for you, future Stanley. Now you have to get it done. Okay, what else? Oh, frequently asked questions. There's a link in below here. Man, I'm just piling the links on today, aren't I? Gonna save Hyrule! So yeah, link in the description showing a frequently asked questions page. If you have any questions about the movie, right down there. If there's questions that are asked, like, hey, Stanley! This one's frequently asked because a lot of people find out about the movie, and the first question people ask is there going to be any of this action? Is there going to be any romance? My answer is no, there isn't. Not at all. But I'm not mad at you if you ask that question. Come on. I mean, seriously, it's a legitimate question. What other frequently asked questions do I get frequently asked? Is there going to be cussing and profanity? And I'm going to make it all hardcore and yeah, Zim's like, dib you beep, beep, beep. No, I'm not going to have that because that's, again, not part of the show. The show didn't have profanity in it, so this movie won't have profanity in it. Simple as that. Apart from the fact that that religiously I would have objections, but also just it's not part of the show. How bloody is the show gonna? How bloody is the movie gonna be? Not too bloody. There's gonna be, I think, 1 point. Should I give away the joke? Okay, here I'll settle for a second joke. Grr. No, these all revolve around Grr. There's gonna be some blood. Okay, I'm gonna just be bluntly honest. There's gonna be some blood. Actually, you know what? If this were officially rated by the Motion Picture Association, I would assume it would probably get a PG-13 rating. That's what we're shooting for here, and it'd be a soft PG-13. It wouldn't be. It'd be like, well, if this was any less dark or if this was any less bloody, it would probably be PG. But it just ekes over into PG-13 rating, which is how I feel the show itself was. Do characters die? Yeah, you bet they do. Yes, they do. And actually, for example, I die. I have a cameo, and I wrote this in to help people who feel like I'm doing something wrong. This is for you. The Massive is landing on Earth, and the first death you see on screen, I believe, is It's just one shot. I only show up for one shot, and it's me standing up on a soapbox, like dressed in like some sort of, you know, sandwich sign that says, Santa is coming, beware, or something like that. And I'm yelling into a megaphone, and I have like tracts that I'm telling people to beware of Santa coming and stuff. And I look up and scream in terror as the massive crushes me. I die. So that's what that is. For actual characters, though, people that matter, we have, there's some Irkens that die in a battle. There's some defectives that die in a battle. So, that's it. I think that covers everything for this vlog. Okay then. Bye-bye and goodbye.